Alright guys, this is going to be a follow-up to the video I made about Ocelot's Makarov jam in Metal Gear Solid Delta. And a lot of people brought some stuff up that I really thought about. And I thought that I would show a little bit more demonstrations on people's theories and what people thought was playing out in the scene. There's multiple theories as to what happened. I am going to show some video clips. I'm going to show some pictures, some close-ups of certain things, and basically just try to answer everyone's questions because it seems like there is conflicting theories and there is a little bit of confusion on exactly what happened in that scene specifically. So getting into it, we'll go ahead and make this Makarov safe to use/demonstrate with, which all you got to do, rack the slide back, lock it open, take out your safety lever. There is your firing pin. Pops right out the back. I'll leave that there in frame just so you guys know I'm not being naughty. So first thing I want to go over is, was this a failure to extract and then a double feed, or was this a failure to eject? So with the failure to extract and double feed theory is that there's two things that could have happened with that. The main one is that the extractor failed to pull out the round in the chamber, and then whenever the slide went back to load another round, the round that was in the chamber blocked the round from the magazine going in, causing a double feed. And the other one is that Ocelot really quickly single loaded a round into the chamber, and then whenever he dropped the slide to load another round from the magazine, it caused a double feed from that round that he single loaded. All right, so starting off, we'll demonstrate the failure to extract and double feed theory. So we will single load a round into the chamber. You can see in there, there's a round in the chamber. We'll go ahead and close this up just enough so that that extractor doesn't go over the rim. Now we'll load a full magazine into the pistol. So what people think happened is that the extractor failed to pull the round out of the chamber, which is a failure to extract. So right now, the extractor is not on the rim. It's yet to go over there. So whenever I pull the slide back, pretty much going to simulate a failure to extract, and then a round from the magazine is going to butt up against there. So there is your failure to extract and double feed. You can see the chamber has a round that's in it because we didn't pull it out when we racked the slide back. And then our magazine could not feed that round through because obviously there is already a round in the chamber. So that's what that looks like. That right there is our failure to extract and then double feed. So it doesn't really look the same as the malfunction we got in game, but that is the malfunction that a lot of people are saying happened. So the next theory I want to go over is Ocelot single loaded a round. So what we're going to do is we're going to manually load a round while the full magazine is in there. Because if you see in the cutscene, he throws the magazine in the gun and then the slide is still closed, and then he pulls the slide open, and that is where some people think that he single loaded a round into the chamber.
If you're not the boss, then die.
So we're basically going to do the same thing. The gun is in the same condition it was in game, hammered back, slide is closed. We have a full 8-round loaded magazine. We're going to throw that in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to single load. So we'll go ahead and lock the slide open, and we will throw a round into the chamber. So do you see the problem here? It is exceptionally difficult for me to get this round in there. Right now we have a full magazine in, and I'm going to try to single load it again. And I'm really trying here. That's that's about where it stops. It's caught on the top of the casing from the magazine. It's okay. There we go. I got it. So that was actually pretty difficult. I really had to jam it in there. But right now we have a single loaded round in the chamber. And then if we drop the slide, we have our double feed. So I don't think he single loaded it, not only because it's pretty difficult to get that round in the chamber whenever there's a full magazine, but it just, he would have to do it so fast to single load it. I think it's way more likely that he just racked the slide and whatever failure happened was directly from racking the slide, whether it be a failure to extract and then a double feed or a failure to eject the live round that was in the chamber. So those are the two most popular theories for the double feed malfunction theory. So I want to bring something up before we really get into this. People are saying that you could see the casing still in the chamber in the cutscene. I'm going to go out on a limb and just say you cannot see a casing in that gun. What you're seeing, that shiny part that's right in front of the stuck cartridge, is glint from the barrel. And I can prove it right now. I'll go ahead and show you. Does this look familiar to you? So this is what you're seeing. You're not seeing a cartridge that's in front of the one that's stuck. You're seeing the basically a reflection. That's what you're seeing in game, in my opinion. So if it was a mechanical failure, right, what would Ocelot's technique have to do with a mechanical failure? It would be completely out of his control. And that being said, there would be absolutely no reason for Snake to bring up a failure based on Ocelot's technique.
You ejected the first bullet by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do. But testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you.
Next, we're going to do the failure to eject theory, which is basically what my last video was showing. All right, so I have a round in the chamber, and then I have a fully loaded 8-round magazine. Going to insert that. So I'm basically going to try to make it tip out just a little bit, and then I'll let go of the slide, and you can see we have a failure to eject right there. And I'll try to hold this in the same position as it was in game so that we get a good visual. In my opinion, that looks exactly how it does in game. Exactly. At least more so than the double feed that we had. Another way that people are saying that the failure to eject could have happened is that Ocelot, whenever he racks the slide on his Makarov, he kind of grabs it like that in the game to rack the slide back, and his hand could possibly be in the way of the ejection port when he's racking the slide, and it could stop the round from getting spit out.
Then
All right, so we have a round in the chamber and a fully loaded magazine. So we'll try to get a failure to eject by putting our hand over the ejection port. Okay, that's what I got just now from having my hand on there and racking the slide all the way back. Actually, hold on. I think I accidentally kind of figured this something out. So what I just did is I covered the ejection port with my hand, I pulled it all the way back, and then I let go. I'm trying to hold it like the exact same way. Okay, well that's pretty good. I mean, visually, and it makes sense if you think about how Ocelot's a triple agent, and a lot of people think that he purposely jammed his gun in order to let Big Boss escape. So I think the failure happened because of this. Ocelot was racking the slide in a really unconventional way, and his hand was in the way of the ejection port, and that caused a failure to eject, and then the round got caught along with the round in the magazine that was trying to feed. All right, guys. Well, that pretty much is all I wanted to go over. There's some stuff that I kind of wanted to get into with, what exactly Ocelot was doing when he was racking the slide and why he was doing it. I kind of started off wanting to say that, but honestly, it was about like 6 or 7 minutes in to editing it, and I was like, wow, this is so extremely boring. So I just really skipped to the meat of it, people's theories and what they think happened, and pretty much going deeper into an analysis on what I believe happened. But I hope you guys got some answers you were looking for. Hopefully I answered some questions that you guys had. So hope you guys enjoyed watching, and thank you. Oh yeah, I also had some snap caps. I like 3D printed these, and they did not really fare too well with the demonstrations. They kind of kept not working really well, mainly because they don't weigh the same as an actual Makarov round. But I did print some out for those of you who care so much about my safety. Not making fun of you, I'm just saying I did print some out. They work. So I mean, if I do any other demonstrations, probably use more of these, but these really sucked for what I was doing. Just so you guys know, some metal ones would be better. Those are just plastic, obviously, but just wanted you guys to know I'm listening. I pay attention. I'm not just ignoring you guys and being stupid. Well, I am being stupid, but I'm not doing it to piss y'all off. All right, later, guys. All right, so we have our Makarov right here. So I'm just gonna toss it on the ground and see if that round pops out. That did not work. Well, it did that. Didn't really fly out. So I don't know how realistic that is. I think it's way more likely to get a stovepipe than actually fly out like it did in game. But fuck it, worth a try.